Hey guys, how you doing? Me? Nah, not the best, I'll be honest. You know how I'm always wearing the same clothing in all these videos? It's becoming very apparent to me that I need a change of pace. And I don't mean that as in I don't change often, no. My entire wardrobe consists of the same things. So I decided to shake things up a bit. I will be purchasing, some other clothing that I will only wear for the next few months. Amazing plan, I know. But if I want to buy things, that means, you know, shopping, and shopping means, going outside. Man, I'm so grateful for modern evolution allowing me to do this without even stepping foot outside the door. Human technology really is a miracle, isn't it? Much like shopping, outside. It's fun to just browse random shit you don't need, but buy it anyways, and realize when it arrives you didn't even want it in the first place. Looks can deceive, and that is usually most evident in packaging, exaggerating truths or downright lying just to compete for your hard-earned dollar. Fortunately, this series shows what you get, disappointment, and a fun conversation with your bank. Anyways, enough talking, let's, I guess I'll do a review of my favorite packaging styles throughout the series. Sure, why not? Well, this would be a good break from my, longer videos. Somehow I have a feeling this video will turn out longer than I want it to be. SSA's packaging, I think it's just okay, but partially just because most of the other packaging is very similar to this. Yeah, sex is cool, but have you ever opened one of these boxes? I swear, it makes me happier than anything. Besides getting positive comments from strangers on the internet, of course, but I'm pretty sure there is no greater pleasure than that. I've mentioned this before, but I kept my Series 3 Terrafin box just because, I don't know, I feel like it, and I am always so tempted to just... The box has some clear plastic showing the figure you get. The best part of these is that you don't need to tear it apart to play as them. So you can have a mint condition maxed out Skylander. That should be illegal in most countries. We got some artwork, a nice background depending on the element. The character's name and catchphrase listed on the bottom. Can't forget the iconic silhouette artwork of Trig being forced onto the portal. We also have the base imitating the figure. It's a nice detail. We also have some elements of the Portal of Power on this, which I'm not sure how to feel about, honestly. Not sure even why, I just don't like them on these box. I don't know, I think it just complicates things a bit. And why does the box just go outward on the top? I guess it's supposed to represent the burst in power, like how they show up in game. I really don't like these flat tops they have. It makes them feel like canisters or something. All the games have the same stuff on the back, the Skylander game, and shoving more things you can buy down your throat before you even buy this figure. Which, yes, is standard for the toy industry, but I don't like it. I kinda wish these boxes were much more personal to the Skylander you bought. Perhaps having a bit of text in there about the Skylander in question, like a brief bio or something. Inside of the box, you get a toy, or maybe a toy in plural. Yeah, sometimes you can buy more than one of these bitches in the same box. Besides that, you got a card that displayed the stats, which is very inaccurate, so they're pretty much useless. But they also had stickers and the character you just bought, and this is a bit of info you can punch into various websites. Why did I blur this out? Actually, that's a good question. What can you even do with these in 2022? You can also access these codes in-game in case you lost it and still want your funny bone to show up in Skylanders Lost Islands. Giants was a major improvement, removing those weird side things and smoothing out the bubble. Now, this looks very smooth, still having the logo encased in plastic. Yeah, I have no idea why they did that. The gradient from the element color to the orange for Skylanders Giants, it just looks so good. And the little thing here telling you about placing the toy on the portal has now been replaced with the compatibility, since not all the characters can be played in every game. You mother! Don't worry though, the step-by-step placing on the Skylander portal is on the back still. It was on the back in the first game, so why did they include it twice? No, and suspiciously removed in this packaging was an advert for the Skylanders web MMO. Ask your parents before going online. Actually, speaking of which, as someone who's never played this MMO, I want to talk about it in a video, but there isn't really enough to talk about it to warrant its own video, but there's too much to talk about it that if I wanted to include in a separate video, it kind of just detract from the main idea. But all I'm gonna say for now is it was a really cool thing that we got an online Skylanders experience, but after the first game, instead just play with Skylanders on the computer. It says, play Skylanders on shitty mobile apps. Anyhow, the Giants had separate, bigger packaging, which, despite being made for the obvious reason of wanting characters to actually fit in the box, really displays that they are stronger. I kinda regret choosing to remove some of these from their packaging, to be honest. I think that's all. Alright, time for Swap Force. These aren't an upgrade, it's more of the same, if not a downgrade, and somehow people wanted to buy these even more considering Swap Force's sales. The compatibility sign on the front was removed and placed on the back of the box. Replacing it is the step-by-step bring the toys to life tutorial from SSA? Why? You had it there in the first game, removed it, and brought it back again? This is pointless! This is the third game in a highly successful series, and has already spawned an imitator in the genre. I think people would understand the gimmick by now. Compatibility is significantly more important for the average consumer's immediate attention, but no, gotta put in that fucking gimmick explanation that they already know. I think parents would already understand the gimmick if they saw their child play it once. Like, are you fucking kidding me? You know, I just spent like a minute ranting about this, but I feel like the average diehard Skylander fan didn't even notice this inconsistency. Hell, I didn't notice it until analyzing for this video. Although, I should probably mention the boxes for Swap Force figures. Not only did they have these funky 2-packs containing multiple swap figures, but they also included this wheel where you could check out different swap combinations. I have no idea why, since it doesn't really say anything about gameplay, just the aesthetics, but still a neato way to get children to buy more plastic garbage. I should probably buy a swap figure in box just for this wheel. It's kinda nostalgic, not gonna lie. And for the last thing I want to bring up, the light core packaging is stupid. They're just bland variants. Why are they treated like a completely different type of Skylander? Ugh. Trap Team is possibly my favorite, mostly because they made it fit the game much more. Little bring the toys to life thing is removed from the front. Thank God. I'm glad they understand that people know how the game works. In the 4th entry, nonetheless. The compatibility is kept on the back, though, thank God. Now it's less warranted, since there are barely any reposes in Trap Team, so good luck trying to find the compatibility saying anything but Trap Team. I wonder if Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade Eruptor has compatibility on anything on the back because you can't play as it. Anyhow, the packaging is more crystal-like, if that makes sense, fitting with the theme of Traptanium. I'm glad the traps have packaging that clearly shows they aren't normal Skylanders by making them not have a base and be noticeably smaller, apart from these, but I don't want to talk about that. The cyan color is very appealing, especially with the blood red color to contrast with it. Top 10 things I want to break over someone's head. Skylanders Trap Team Trapmaster box. Yeah, these make me question why they made the packaging look like Traptanium, because it makes it look like the Skylanders are the ones getting trapped, which doesn't make any sense because you trap the villains. Weird. I like that the packaging is much more grand for the Trapmasters, showing how the other dudes are pretty much useless by comparison. I mean, like, literally, they're the only ones who can open elemental gates. Alright, almost done. Superchargers. This is probably my favorite packaging in the series. Another reason why I love this game. I might buy some of them just to keep them in box, not gonna lie. We have a slanted top, which adds a lot of personality, a nice elemental pattern on the bottom here, special artwork backgrounds for each element, and those are really the main instantly noticeable things besides stuff we've already talked about. I like the simplicity. Lots of generic, cool, aesthetic Skylander stuff on the back, and you remember how I mentioned each game's box had its base similar to the figure's base? Well, for some reason, since these figures have very different bases to the rest of the series, they made it yellow. Wouldn't gold or bronze make more sense? Whatever. Skylanders Imaginators? Where to begin? This game goes for a very different aesthetic, and I really like it. They made it more mature than the other boxes, if that makes sense. And made it more of a collector's thing than a children's brand. But wouldn't this have made more sense for the Superchargers packaging? Imaginators is possibly the most childish game in the series. Whatever. These boxes go for a black style, with the character artwork being on the top. And although this is not as appealing as the Superchargers element backgrounds, the element backgrounds for this game are still very good looking. They list the element and battle class on the side, very sleek. And some elemental patterns all around. Always love those. Alongside this gradient from the element color to the black color on the top. They clearly took inspiration from the Eon's Elites lineup for this, and I am not complaining. Objectively, I think this is the definitive box for the series, but just because it's so different from the others, yeah, I'm sorry, bro. I also love the boxes for the smaller Imaginite boxes, but they remind me of Smarties, and I'm a sucker for tiny things. Why I love the course so much. Anyhow, I think that's all. I left a lot of things out just because I wanted to make the video shorter. Yeah, I could probably make a part 2 of this, which would be kind of strange, but oh well. Oh, and since I mentioned shopping for new clothes earlier, I'll show off my new outfit. Well, not on me since I just ordered it, but, you know, shipping and all. But the clothing I bought was a green flannel, a black t-shirt, some beige pants, a belt, but not for wearing. They had some kicks. So, while I wait for that to arrive, subscribe? No. Leave feedback? I'm just waiting for these back pains to end. Until next time.